Hi, folks. Welcome back to another edition of Money and Politics. And we're going to be giving you an update today on TSNP, otherwise known as Humbl. There was a great article that came out today in Seeking Alpha. It was on the Real Josh's blog. And let me bring that up for you. You can see here Humbl, in parentheses, TSNP, that we currently know, the current ticker symbol, an all-star in the making. And this was, as I say, a pretty glowing article all around. We have the author saying that Humbl has three vertical markets you want to focus on. Mobile pay, which he says is similar to Venmo, and of course would go by Humbl Pay. Then we have marketplace, according to the author. He says this could be another Amazon, and that's called Humbl Marketplace. That'll be offering merchants around the world an opportunity to be selling their wares to people around the world. It's almost as if you go on vacation to Mexico or some Latin American country or somewhere else, and you pick up some souvenirs at a store. Well, you don't have to be going to the souvenir store anymore. And then the third marketplace is financials. The excitement on Humbl continues to go up. The price of the shares went up nearly 13% today, rising about 4.5 cents. January the 8th, this was a 15-cent stock. So we are close to a triple, but that's not where we want to be. We want to be coming up here in the near future to go much higher than where we are now. And I think one of the catalysts that's going to make that happen is a psychological catalyst, but it's going to be, number one, having the symbol change. That TSNP will be changing to HMBL. But the other thing is coming up in February is going to be that they're going to have their phone app, the use of Humbl Pay, and that's going to be launching in 40 countries, as well as what the writer of the article notes, that Humbl is having other arrangements in other countries. So as we go forward, this continues to present a lot of excitement, and these next several months are going to be key. Humbl is really like a company born in January. It's the way I like to think about it. There's really a lot of expertise behind this company, starting with Brian Foote, the CEO, and his good management team, and he brings that to the table. But they just had the merger and went publicly traded in the end of 2020. And so now, over the next several months, February, March, April, we're going to have to keep an eye on how successful are they in bringing this out. What kind of response do they get from the merchants overseas and to the consumers? Are they finding that it's easy to use? Are the merchants welcoming it? What kind of regulatory hurdles are they getting from those local businesses? So we're going to be keeping our eye on it. We'll want to be updating you as we go ahead. For all of the investors out there, I know there are thousands of them, frankly, probably millions of them around the world. It's really one of the most exciting investments that I have seen in the last 30 years. And one of, as I've said before in a previous video, this is one of the very few penny stocks that I've ever looked at. And again, I don't look at this so much as a penny stock, while it is technically. When I look at the quality of the management team, the structure of the company, the going global, the fact that they're moving ahead with their rollout, this really is acting to me like a far more mature company than one that was just recently coming to market in the last of 2020 and coming to fruition right before our eyes right now in the early part of 2021. So we really, I hate to speculate too much of where this could be, and by July, by August, by the end of the year of 2021. But I think it's fair to say that most of us are having high expectations. So in that period of time that we're talking about, it's going to be key. How well can Brian Foote and his team execute on the strategy of rolling this out? The other thing I want to talk about, and I've mentioned this again briefly, but George Sharp has the 500 million shares of a warrant on Humbl stock. So George's company, Forwardly. The symbol for that is FORW, and it's basically like an option on the price of Humbl. So as the price of Humbl goes up, it would be expected that Forwardly's stock price would go up as well. Forwardly has the right to buy 500 million shares at about 4.5 cents a share. And so when you look at today's price, which is right around very close to 40 cents, that would be a profit of about 36.5 cents per share times 500 million shares would put a price value today of about $177 million. And as the price of Humbl stock goes up, the value of those warrants on Forwardly, the company Forwardly, the value of those shares of stock would go up as well. So there's another way to play this. FORW gives you a position in the value of the Forwardly warrants. And they have 2 years to execute on that. As I understand, they can't execute on they can't sell any of those shares for at least 1 year. So after 2021, and I'm going on, I might be technically wrong here, but I'm in the ballpark of being right, let's put it that way. I don't have the actual sheet in front of me to give you the exact date, but my understanding is through 2021, Forwardly will not be able to sell any of those shares. So as the price of Humbl goes up, the value of Forwardly should be going up with those 500 million warrants going up. Then in 2022, presumably during that course of that year, the Forwardly would be selling off some of those shares and realizing the gain. It could be enormous. So if you want to play that kind of as a tandem play on Humbl, you could take a look at buying FORW, and today's price on that is about 15 cents. I don't have the closing price right in front of me, but it's about a third of what Humbl's pay is, Humbl's stock price is. So that's the news for today. Just wanted to give you an update on that glowing article. Again, in Seeking Alpha, he's saying, we'll bring that back up, be an all-star in the making. All-star in the making, Humbl stock. And I know I speak for many others when I say that certainly seems to be the case. A very exciting stock. We'll leave it there. Good investing, folks. Have a profitable week ahead.